Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. I have an update to share about one of Trump's Capitol insurrectionists. It's time for an episode of Where Are They Now?
Matthew Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
So 40-year-old Florida resident Adam Honeycutt shared his crimes on Facebook on January 6th because, of course, he did. In a video he recorded before entering the building, Honeycutt was seen and heard yelling, quote, "It's about to go down." So I just hear Kevin Hart. Anyway, after entering illegally, Honeycutt turned the camera on himself again, and he said, quote, "Well, made it in." He shared a photo also of a broken furniture leg that was clearly marked with a barcode and the words U.S. Senate Sergeant at Arms. But for all of his boasting, reality must have set in at some point because Honeycutt, according to prosecutors, deleted his January 6th post. And then on January 10th, he posted on Facebook denying his involvement. He really tried to throw them off. He wrote, quote, "I appreciate all the concern, but don't worry. I was not part of the violence. I just documented history. Hell, I was at the food truck when the shit hit the fan. There was shit for signal, so I wasn't able to do a lot on Facebook. Then got put on Facebook jail, so I couldn't let y'all know that I wasn't with the rioters." Oh, but you did let them know. And we thank you for that, Adam. So the prosecutors also contend that Honeycutt helped to pass a wooden plank back to the mob as they were attacking officers. So it's not going to surprise you guys to know that this stable genius has been arrested previously. Not once, not twice, 3 times. And in those 3 arrests, he had dozens of charges filed against him, including a charge for domestic battery. So he's a repeat offender with a history of domestic violence. Anyway, for legal purposes, I have to inform you that he was only found guilty on 1 charge of breach of the peace. So he had charges filed against him, but that was the only one that stuck. But while Honeycutt was awaiting sentencing, in this case, in the January 6th case, he was sentenced to prison in another case. In October of last year, a judge sentenced Honeycutt to 18 months in federal prison and 1 year probation due to his possession of 4 unsecured handguns and drugs. Apparently, when the FBI exercised the search warrant in this case, in the January 6th case, they found these weapons along with 10,000 rounds of ammo. They found marijuana, and then they said other drug paraphernalia. And they said that 2 of the guns that were unsecured were loaded, and Honeycutt's 3 children were in the house at the time. And the children range in age from 2 to 9 years old. So Honeycutt was arrested for the Capitol attack on February 11th of last year, and he's remained in jail ever since. But in regard to his actions on January 6th, he was charged with only 3 misdemeanors, which were entering a restricted building or grounds, disorderly conduct in a restricted building, and then parading or demonstrating in a Capitol building. Honeycutt took a plea deal on March 1st of this year. He pleaded guilty to the parading charge. So in this case, he was facing up to 6 months in jail, up to 5 years of probation, and up to $5,000 in fines. However, even with his previous arrest and with his criminal history and his current sentence that he's in jail for right now, the prosecutor only asked for 3 months in jail. They're just blowing it. So Honeycutt's attorney, of course, asked the judge to give him time served. And he said that, he simply wanted to be a part of history, not infamy. That was his quote. Too late. U.S. District Judge Carl Nichols presided over this case. And at the sentencing hearing, he said, quote, "Although Mr. Honeycutt is not among the worst January 6 offenders I've encountered, his offense is not to be taken lightly. I conclude he poses somewhat of a risk of recidivism. He celebrated on social media in real time the violence and destruction he saw on Jan 6. somewhat of a chance of recidivism. Oh my God. So anyway, unfortunately, Judge Nichols is one of the few who wrongly believes that he can't impose a sentence of jail and probation, otherwise known as a split sentence for these petty misdemeanor charges. So he sentenced Honeycutt to only 90 days in jail and a $500 restitution fee. And he told Honeycutt that he could self-surrender at least 2 days after his federal prison term ends, which is May 23rd. Unbelievable. So enough? No, not even close. This is a repeat offender. And he may not have directly taken part in the violence that day, but he assisted in it. He passed a weapon, being a wooden plank, to Trump's terrorists. And this split sentence BS is really pissing me off. So this guy will be out of jail and off probation during the 2024 election. He has weapons, thousands of rounds of ammunition, and drugs. Gee, what could go wrong? What are we worried about? Anyway, when I hear more about this guy, because I guarantee we will, I will let you guys know. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.